Hello, everyone. This is Eleanor Rigby. I was sitting at my kitchen table this morning holding a worn out bank book from 1994, and it struck me how much a person can lose and then find if they only have the heart to keep going. Looking at these faded ink entries, I realized that if I hadn't learned the lesson I'm about to tell you, I would have spent my final years in a very dark, lonely place. Life slips through your fingers when you aren't looking, but I'm living proof that it's never too late to fill your hands back up. Before I tell you this story, please subscribe. I want to pass this wisdom down before I'm gone so you don't make the same mistakes I did. I remember retiring in 2019. I walked out of that office with a cardboard box, sat in my car, and cried. After 40 years of work, I had exactly $12,000 to my name. In all my 80 years, I never felt smaller. I felt like a failure, especially thinking of my late husband, Arthur, who always promised we'd be all right. Arthur passed away in 2008 during the crash. We lost the house we'd built in the 70s, the one with the tire swing and the creaky porch. I moved into a cramped apartment and kept putting one foot in front of the other. But life just kept getting more expensive. By 2019, I was a senior citizen with no safety net and a radiator that rattled louder than my own thoughts. I remember calling my daughter Sarah, but I couldn't tell her the truth. I was eating toast for dinner and turning the heat down to 55 degrees just to save pennies. I'd see young couples in the park and think, you don't know how fast the floor can fall out from under you. The turning point came at the library. I saw an old photo that reminded me of what Arthur said in 1982 when interest rates were sky high. Eleanor, wealth isn't what you collect. It's what you cultivate. I had been trying to save my way out of poverty, but you can't save what you don't have. I realized I had to change my mind before I could change my bank account. I dusted off an old Singer sewing machine Arthur bought me for our 10th anniversary. I started repairing clothes for neighbors. I didn't charge much, but I did it with love, thinking about the hands that would wear them. Experience has taught me I'd tell the girls who brought me torn dresses. Word spread. One day, a young man named Marcus brought me a vintage leather jacket that 3 shops had called trash. I spent 3 weeks on it, oiling the leather until it shone like a new chestnut. When he saw it, he told me I was an artist. He helped me set up a page on the internet, and soon I was getting requests from all over the country. People wanted the Eleanor touch, the care of someone who knew the true value of things. Within 2 years, I wasn't eating toast for dinner anymore, but more importantly, I realized my value hadn't expired at 65. I eventually hired other women from my building to help restore heirlooms. I started investing the profits, not out of fear, but to build a legacy. Now, 5 years later, I own my home outright. I went from a broke retiree to the top 1% of earners in my age bracket. I did it by using skills I learned in the 50s, patience and precision, and applying them to a world that has forgotten how to wait for anything. To the younger generation, you live in a disposable world. If something breaks, you throw it away. But that's not how you build a life. My marriage to Arthur lasted 40 years because when things broke, we fixed them. We didn't look for a replacement, we looked for a way to heal. There is deep wealth in longevity, whether it's a bank account or a marriage. The greatest interest is paid to those who stay the course. People ask how I did it. At 75, I tell them I stopped looking at what I lacked and started looking at what I possessed. 80 years of stories and steady hands. In all my 80 years, I've learned that the top 1% isn't just a number. It's about being the person who stays when everyone else runs. If you are breathing, you are still building. Love isn't a feeling. It's a decision you make every morning. And wealth isn't a windfall. It's the harvest of seeds planted when the ground was still frozen. If you treat your life with the same care I gave that old leather jacket, you will find yourself richer than you ever imagined. The hardest years are often the ones right before the best ones. I was broke at 75, and I am thriving at 80. Don't let a bad chapter convince you the book is over. Keep stitching the seams. I am no longer afraid of the quiet. As long as I have my hands and my heart, I have everything I need. Look at your own life. Is there something you've given up on? A dream, a marriage, or yourself? Don't throw it away. Fix it. The most beautiful things are the ones repaired with love. Thanks for listening to An Old Soul. Subscribe, share this with someone you love, and cherish them while they are here. I'll be here by the window, keeping a light on for you. Would you like me to tell you how I found the courage to start that first online business at 75?